Good evening. I've come to show you motovlog. Someone did ask if I could open it up a little. I heard him. The 25th of June, end of the month. Rolling up on Independence Day here. And this weekend we were going to get out and do a hanger on wheels, have some breakfast. But, oh wow, look at that updraft over there. I always get distracted. But we slept in. I stayed up too late. And then we slept in the morning. And there's a huge storm coming. It's about over Fort Wayne, Indiana right now, most of it. And severe thunderstorms, 70-mile-per-hour wind and hail. So I thought, hey, it's a great day for a ride. Beautiful clouds. I'll just take a short ride. I got a different, just a $20 mount for my chin mount, and I have a little bit more room to talk, so I don't feel like I'm talking out of the side of my mouth anymore. And it's pretty secure. I hope the angle is a little bit better. This is my third bike, and I've ridden for quite a while now. I've ridden, if you count mini bikes, I've ridden even longer than that. But never really wore a helmet or anything until I got this adventure bike. I mean, I've worn them. I wore them before, like when it was raining, or you went out of state. You have to wear them. But I just, I guess it wasn't very safe. I rarely do not have my helmet on. With this modular helmet, it makes it really nice. I mean, I know they're not as strong as the solid helmets, but, or safety rating wise, but they. Hey, if it's more comfortable and you're cooler in it, you're going to wear it, and it's better than not wearing one. So that's what I started doing. It does make it nice, though. You just flip it up when it gets real super hot. But anyways, I was riding for a lot of years, and I've never had a jacket that fit me, a piece of armored motorcycle apparel. I mean, I've had I've had other jackets. I've worn Carhartts, and I had a leather jacket in high school that I converted into a motorcycle jacket by adding snaps and buttoning down the collars and such. But this company here, SKULLRIDERZ, is the first company that's made something for us big guys. This is a 5XL, and I'm a big guy. I got like over a 60-inch chest, and this thing accommodates it. This is the TUFF denim, and I sprung for the armor upgrade, the road armor, road warrior armor, or whatever that's called, the thinner armor. It's still level 1 protection, but it's not too bulky. I got broad shoulders anyway, so I get those big pads on them and I look like I'm in an 80s cover band. It's almost 90 degrees today. Actually, it's not. It's almost 85 degrees right now, and it's a little warm. But this is not the mesh. This is the heavier denim. Don't tell Congress, but I've got a mesh one on the way, so that I can wear when it's hot. But it is nice. I love this jacket. It's sort of like a stretchy material in it as well. This jacket might have been a little more breathable, but I went and got the Kevlar lining all the way through the jacket. And honestly, it's not bad. I mean, it's not. The chest is fairly breathable. The arms are not. The back is not. I've got sweat dripping down my back. I may have to take the jacket off. I don't know. The temperature will be dropping here shortly. Just leave it on. But I'll put the link in the description of the video for SKULLRIDERZ, for SKULLRIDERZ. I'm a huge fan. It's stylish. The arms are long enough for me. I have long arms. A nice swing arm shoulders in it, sort of like a swing arm jacket in a Carhartt, the way it's cut. I'd say anything up above 75 though. 75 degrees, you're going to want the mesh. I'll just play a bunch of music on YouTube. After my incredibly brilliant shtick and spiel speech about the different roles and personas we adopt in life, I don't think I have anything else really to talk about. I like this big thundercloud. There's some nice sky down this way, so I think we'll take a left, or take a right rather. We'll take one of the directions. Now we just got to get SKULLRIDERZ to make some pants. Someone left a comment on Facebook. There's a nice Mustang back there. Someone left a comment on Facebook about now we got to get you to make some jeans. And SKULLRIDERZ replied that they're working on their regular pants that are coming out. So they didn't say coming out; they just said they're pants. So I don't know what those are or where they are. I didn't see them on the website, but I'm happy enough with just the jacket. But it would be cool to have some pants or some jeans, some armored jeans. They have a real good deal right now, 30% off their, I think it's a new release, their soft shell jacket, armored jacket. Oh, look at this. Wooded twisty down here. I don't know that I've ever been down here. I may have. I think maybe I took it to Newell, Ohio one time. I think Newell's down here. Oh yeah, beautiful. Oh, this is a great road. Being from where I'm from, this is the kind of riding I like, these wooded twisties. Oh, we hit 86 already. Saw a guy warming up his tires in his Honda when I was coming back from Walmart, and I thought, why are you doing that? But you may see bikers doing this, rocking back and forth out on especially long stretches, out west, or maybe even around here. But they're not warming up their tires or driving aggressively. They're trying to keep the chicken strips off their tires. If you look at the bottom of a motorcycle tire, it's round on the bottom. And a lot of straight highway driving's not only boring, but it wears strips in your tires, which can affect the handling and such when you're banking curves and whatnot. I've ridden on chicken strips a lot because, I mean, you get them if you've taken or brought your bike back from anywhere. I'm sure there's some bikers that do it because they're showing off. I don't know. It was never my intent when I did it. It's something I got into the habit of doing, but I have some bad habits myself. And in traffic, I'll sometimes switch into neutral. You're not supposed to do that, but on this bike, it's the torque is so monstrous, and I don't have any riding modes or anything that I mean, it'll go right up on one wheel if you're not careful in those lower gears. You probably will see sport bikes doing it a lot more than like big Harleys and such, or cruisers, because high performance tires, are a little bit softer to grip the road, so I think they're more susceptible to what are called chicken strips. Doesn't matter what you ride. You ride a scooter, I'm giving you two to the road. I've even done it to bicyclists before. There was a big motorcycle rally in JOHNSTOWN, PA over the weekend. I tried to entice Melissa to go with me, but she didn't. I could have went by myself, but I think we decided to stay and do hanging reels instead, but I kind of wish I would have went. I think it's almost, it's approaching its 30th year now. I think it's probably 26 years they've been doing it. There was also the threat of storms all weekend. I think it did storm down Pittsburgh area, which is near where Johnstown is. I've never been to Johnstown. It's right below Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. And years ago, I think it was like, was it 1819 or sometime in the 1800s, there was a huge flood. There was an earthen dam that broke there, and it was pretty tragic. I think it was like 3,000, maybe a little over 3,000 people died when the dam broke. And in downtown Johnson, there was a stone railroad bridge down there, and all of the debris and houses and stuff that people were swept along. I guess there had been warnings, or people had cried wolf about the dam breaking before, so people didn't heed it, and we're calling those who fled cowards. But when it hit, it came like at, I think, 40 miles an hour. They said there were a few people that had time to get up into the mountains, but it lifted railroad cars and actual freight trains. There was an individual found in Cincinnati, Ohio, that it was swept down. That crane in the field was kind of cool there on the left. But again, I'm jerking my head around, so who knows how well it was filmed. But anyways, when all the debris and everything and freight cars and hit that bridge, it backed up and started swirling, and there was oil in one of the freight cars. They had taken out a factory too down there at the flood, but one of the freight cars had oil in it, and it caught fire. And so there was just swirling, like massive death that most people died from impact with debris, like pitchforks and boards and freight trains, and that had that was swirling in the mass, or fire. But there were a lot of puncture wounds and blood force trauma on the bodies. And there's a big memorial there, and I think down around Johnstown is where United 93 too. I think there's a memorial down there for that. So at some point I will have to get down there. And there's also, I think I'm gonna butcher this, but there's a UFO down there, like a not like an actual UFO. It's a set. There's a prop used in I think, one of the unsolved mysteries. But that area down there is known as like I don't know, some kind of triangle. Like it's a play on the Allegheny, or it's a play on the Bermuda Triangle, but it's in the Allegheny Mountains, just east of Pittsburgh. And supposedly there's a lot of paranormal activity down there, everything from Bigfoot to UFOs, and so there's a lot of people to go down there. But one of these set pieces that was used in a movie, I think it was an episode of Unsolved Mysteries, they put it up on, like a pedestal down there, and, now it's a tourist attraction. I'll put the name of it up. And the only reason I know about that is because I was going to go to, I think it's Centralia, Pennsylvania, where there was that huge, an underground mine caught fire, and it's still burning today. And I think they based some of the Silent Hill movies on it. And you can go there, but it's abandoned. There's a lot of graffiti, and I'm not sure if there are any more residents that still live there. But it's kind of like the USA's own little, not really Chernobyl, but it's not nuclear, but it's dangerous. The flames and the fumes. And I think it's a coal mine that was burned for years and years. So I think I might do a little cool thing with that. And at some point, had they not closed at 6, I would have went down to the A&W root beer shop. I did some reading on it and learned some pretty neat things. I don't know if you don't know, A&W is it's a restaurant up here. It's been around. It's actually America's oldest fast food restaurant, and I think it's named after Allen and Wright, the two people that founded it. And the one guy, Allen, started out setting up a stand outside or in Lodi, California, for a World War I veterans parade, and he sold root beer down there. And then 3 years later, they opened up a restaurant in, I think, Sacramento, California. And in the 70s, at one time, they had more restaurants than McDonald's. And by the 80s, they were down to fewer than 500. But they've been kept alive by being, passed off from one, corporation to another that manages them and that has tried different things. And at one point, they became consolidated with Pizza Hut and a few other restaurants. But now I think they're owned by a company that lets them be their own entity. The A&W root beer you get in a can, it's not the same as what you get from the barrel when you go there. And that's what made the restaurant famous. Was they kept frosted mugs, and that's what they served the A&W in out of the aged barrels. I don't know what kind of barrels they are, but just absolutely good. It tastes. I don't really like carbonation and stuff, so it's a little flatter than what you get in a pop can. But it tastes better. It's just got more flavor, I think. I've always liked the A&W root beer. In fact, I don't keep it in the house because I'll drink it. I love root beer floats, and that's the only kind of root beer there is, as far as I'm concerned. Barks or mug, no, you can keep it. It's A&W through and through. And I'd love to know if the recipe changed over the years or not, or if it's always been the same, because it just has that. I know Barks has bite, but A&W's got that distinctive flavor that I guess you either love it or hate it. But I haven't really run into anyone that hates it. There was an IBC root beer at one time, and that was pretty decent. Came in bottles, but I think it was more just the novelty of it being in bottles. Down south in where was I? I can't think of all I can think of is Mayfield. I think Mayfield, like Fancy Gap down that way. I think that's Virginia or North Carolina, Virginia. I'm pretty sure. We went on vacation down there, and they still have A&W in bottles. And that's pretty good, too. That's probably my second choice, either right out of the barrel or the bottle. It really does make a difference. But they have pretty good burgers. It's also the company that invented the bacon cheeseburger. Supposedly there was a guy in 1961 in Michigan, Lansing, Michigan, up there, who kept ordering bacon on his cheeseburger. And 2 years later, they came out with the bacon cheeseburger that you could order right off the menu. So they're They're the pioneers of the bacon cheeseburger. And I was at their website recently, it's like a commercial for A&W. I should probably go there. Maybe I should save all this for when I go there. It'll be a big production. And I wanted to make it my first ride of the season every year. Instead of going to the bar, go to the A&W root beer shop. But there out west, there's still a lot of pull-up diners, like a lot of, with the carports and all that, where you can, I forget what they call them, little drive-in cafes. I don't know if they have a particular name or not. But I guess the A&Ws out there are still that. There's a little piece of history there that I was unaware of. I was unaware how early they started. Like, I knew that they had been around for a long time. I knew that they had changed hands and decreased in popularity, and that when I was growing up, in the 80s, I think that one in Orwell may have still been there. I'll have to research that. I'll save that for the A&W root beer restaurant trip. I know in the 90s and 2000s it was there. I was sort of manhandling this camera, so I hope I'm still recording. I bet I am. My boot got a little hot on that one. Thought that guy was coming out. He's just creeping up, looking around the corner there. I tell I'm getting a little older. I don't quite ride like I used to. That's about as peg scraping as I get nowadays.